All right, let's dive in. Today, we're taking on the Shawshank Redemption,
Ooh, a classic.
but we're doing it a little differently.
Sounds intriguing.
We've got this transcript from a King of Movies YouTube video, and it's fascinating.
Oh, so we're dissecting the words themselves.
Exactly. It's like, even if you know the movie inside and out,
Right?
the dialogue, all the little details, it's like watching it with fresh eyes.
I'm in. I love digging into that stuff.
So right from the start, we get Red, our narrator.
He's cynical Red, yeah.
Totally. And he's seen it all, done it all in Shawshank, so when Andy Dufresne shows up,
He's not exactly impressed.
not at all. It's like, remember that line about the silver spoon?
Look like a silver spoon up his ass.
Yeah. And then he's never had to breathe.
It's like instant contrast between Andy, the seemingly soft guy, and the harsh reality of prison.
And Andy, even just reading his lines, he's such a mystery.
Very reserved.
Quiet. Yeah, you can almost feel that stillness coming off the page.
There's something underneath, right? You sense it.
Definitely. Makes you want to keep reading, figure them out.
Well, and that's crucial, that mystery. It's
Yeah.
Frank Darabont playing with us, the audience, making us unravel Andy alongside Red.
Oh, and it's like foreshadowing, too.
Absolutely. That hidden strength in Andy, it's the core of the whole movie.
The hope, resilience, finding light in the darkest place.
Exactly.
And we can't sugarcoat it, this transcript. It shows us how brutal Shawshank really is.
Oh, for sure.
The sisters, Captain Hadley, the violence. It's all right there.
And Brooks, he's like a warning sign.
Right. What prison can do to a person.
Breaks him completely, the outside world.
It's heartbreaking.
50 years inside.
And then that line from Red, hope is a dangerous thing.
Yeah, it's easy to dismiss that at first, like just prison cynicism.
Until you see what happens to Brooks.
Man, it hits you hard.
Makes you question what hope even means in a place like that.
It really does.
For Brooks, it's like hope without the means to cope outside. It just destroyed him.
It became despair, almost.
And then you've got Andy, who seems to operate on a different level.
Totally different.
He doesn't just endure, he actively shapes his environment.
Even in the dialogue, you see how his intelligence is his weapon.
Right. The rock hammer, turning the library into something vital.
The rooftop beer scene, he orchestrated that.
He did. And how he gets those beers, talk about understanding leverage.
That's Andy. Always thinking a few steps ahead.
And it's not just about him surviving.
No, it ripples outward.
That Mozart scene when he plays it over the PA,
Yeah.
chills, even reading it.
Oh, man, that scene is
It's
genius.
more than just beautiful music.
So much more.
Those walls, the regimented life, and then suddenly, Mozart.
It's like this collective gasp of freedom, a reminder of beauty transcending those bars.
Powerful stuff.
Darabont showing us art can elevate the human spirit no matter where you are.
Speaking of power, Warden Norton
Oh, he's a piece of work.
comes across as super religious in this transcript, but
Something's off.
you get this feeling he's involved in some shady business.
Classic hypocrisy, right?
Totally. And the irony, this prisoner, Andy, becomes key to his money laundering scheme.
Risky for Andy, but it shows he's playing a long game.
The game Norton doesn't even suspect.
Not a clue.
Then we meet Tommy Williams.
A breath of fresh air and all that grimness.
Young, full of energy, almost a reminder of what Red and Andy used to be.
Tommy brings real hope into the story.
He knows Andy is innocent,
Willing to testify.
but that hope is crushed so brutally.
Norton silencing Tommy, one of the most gut-wrenching moments.
It's not just about Andy's freedom, it's about hope itself being destroyed.
Absolutely.
Feels like the ultimate betrayal, everything Andy worked towards, gone.
And yet,
Yeah.
we know it's setting us up for something extraordinary.
Right. Something Andy's been meticulously planning all along.
The clues are all over this transcript. The poster, the rock hammer, years of chipping away.
Red even comments on it. Get busy living or get busy dying.
Little did he know how literally Andy was taking that to heart.
It's masterclass in suspense building. You practically hear Red's heart pounding when he finds Andy's cell empty.
That moment of disbelief turning into awe.
Pure cinematic gold.
And the way Darabont intercuts those shots of the empty cell with flashbacks of Andy planning.
So good.
It's masterful, building to this crescendo.
And then boom, we see Andy crawling through that sewage pipe. Free.
It's more than just escaping prison.
Oh, it's way more than that.
That tunnel dug with a tiny hammer, it's the triumph of will, refusing to be broken.
And that shot of him standing in the rain, arms outstretched.
Pure liberation.
But hold on, because Red's journey is just as powerful, and we're just getting started.
It's amazing how just reading the words, the language itself, you're transported right back into Shawshank.
Totally.
It's the slang, the way they talk about time, so authentic.
Like calling new inmates fish, right?
Exactly.
It's like this instant image of
Just
vulnerability.
thrown into this brutal world.
Yeah, the way they talk about their sentences, like doing a stretch.
Do the 3-bit, yeah.
It shows how time, it's both a burden and this strange currency inside.
Absolutely.
Even the guards, they've got their own lingo.
The whole side.
Lights out. It's like this constant reminder of control.
The prison itself, almost like a living thing.
Yeah. And here's what I find so interesting.
What's that?
In this system, designed to strip away individuality,
Right.
the characters find ways to hold on to who they are.
Through language, yeah.
Think about Red. He's the guy who can get things.
That's his identity.
Cigarettes, the rock hammer, Rita Hayworth,
It gives him a sense of agency.
in a place where they try to take all control away.
His hustle, his survival mechanism.
And Andy, his knowledge is his power.
Absolutely.
He uses it to create a space for himself, like with the library,
becomes his sanctuary.
a way to connect to the outside world, to beauty, to hope.
And, you know, there's the recurring theme of education, too.
Oh yeah, not just Andy helping Tommy with his GED.
It's about more than just facts.
Right. It's about reclaiming a part of yourself that prison tries to crush.
Finding your voice when you're surrounded by walls.
And both Andy and Red, in their own ways, they become educators,
They share their knowledge, their experiences.
creating a ripple effect,
It's like they're building a community in this brutal place.
offering a glimmer of hope.
a chance for something more.
And that sense of community is so vital.
It sustains them, allows those small moments of joy to feel so powerful.
The rooftop beer scene, perfect example.
Oh, man, just reading it.
You feel the camaraderie, the relief.
For a few minutes, they're not prisoners, just guys having a beer.
It's a testament to the human spirit, finding connection in the worst circumstances.
And the way Darabont uses that wide shot,
Yeah.
showing them all lined up on the roof, bathed in sunlight.
It's like this glimpse of freedom.
hope. Yeah.
Those moments are like fuel, right?
They keep the fire flickering.
Even when everything seems bleak.
It's what allows Andy to hold on to that dream of escape for so long.
And Red, despite his cynicism, he's drawn to that hope.
It's what saves him, even though he can't see it at first.
That's the brilliance of the film. The transcript really highlights it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got this brutal prison, a glimmer of hope.
And now, the escape.
It's what everyone remembers.
But rereading it, I'm struck by how much it hinges on Red's perspective.
Oh, totally. We don't see Andy digging the tunnel.
We experience it through Red.
We see the poster, hear the
We
rumors,
feel his suspicion growing.
and then that moment when he finds Andy's cell empty.
The transcript captures the disbelief perfectly.
You can practically hear Red's heart pounding.
Like we're right there with him, discovering the impossible.
And the way Darabont intercuts the empty cell with flashbacks of Andy's planning,
It's masterful.
building to this crescendo, and then boom,
We see him crawling through the sewage pipe.
free at last. It's so cathartic.
For Andy, for the viewer, everyone.
It's like we've been holding our breath for years.
Waiting for this release.
And then that shot, him standing in the rain, arms outstretched.
Pure liberation.
But the story isn't over yet.
We gotta talk about Red. His journey mirroring Andy's.
And how it diverges.
Exactly. There's so much more to unpack there. It's crazy going through this transcript. It's like the Shawshank Redemption is just like layered with all this symbolism.
Right. Like little details, objects, even lines of dialogue.
And they take on this whole other meaning. It's like a secret language.
Totally. It's like Darabont is saying, hey, come on, let's play a game. Figure this out.
Exactly. So what symbols really jumped out at you?
Well, the rock hammer, obviously, but it's more than just a tool, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's like this embodiment of Andy's patience.
His determination to just chip away at his fate, literally.
And Red even says it, 600 years to tunnel under the wall with one of those.
It's like, wow, the scale of Andy's ambition.
And hiding it in the Bible? Come on, that's genius.
It's like a secret weapon disguised as something holy.
It speaks to how faith can be so many things.
Finding solace, but also fueling your own purpose.
Exactly. And then there's the Pacific Ocean, mentioned so many times.
Almost mythical.
The symbol of escape, a fresh start, a whole new world.
I love that line. I hope the Pacific is as blue as it has been in my dreams.
Oh, yeah.
So poignant. It's hope, but mixed with this fear, you know?
Red wants to believe, but he's also scared of being disappointed.
Like he's internalized that hope is a dangerous thing. idea.
And that tension, it's what makes the ending so powerful.
Because he chooses to believe. He takes that leap of faith and follows Andy.
And when they meet on that beach, the Pacific behind them, it's perfect.
Pure visual poetry, showing us hope can triumph, even after decades of darkness.
And it's made even richer by all the little things leading up to it, you know? Like Andy carving those chess pieces.
Oh yeah, it's not just a hobby, it's an active creation.
In this place, designed to strip everything away.
Each piece has a role, a significance, just like the characters themselves.
Showing that even in the worst situations, we have this need to create, find meaning.
And the library, it becomes so much more than just books.
A symbol of knowledge, a haven from the brutality.
Where Andy finds peace and helps others find hope.
It's a space of transformation, literally and figuratively.
And how Darabont uses light streaming through the windows.
Yeah, like knowledge is illuminating the darkness.
And speaking of things hidden in plain sight,
Yeah.
we got to mention the Rita Hayworth poster.
Oh, come on. That's classic.
It's not just a pinup, it's Andy's connection to the outside world.
His yearning for something more.
And the fact that it's hiding his escape route, genius.
It's like hope disguised as something ordinary.
Showing that beauty, desire, those things can survive anywhere.
Even in the harshest environments.
So for someone listening to all this, what's the takeaway? Why are these symbols so important?
Because they make the film more than just a prison break story. They make us think.
They make us engage with the themes, the messages.
I mean, honestly, it's just more fun.
It's like the filmmakers are inviting us to play along, solve the puzzle.
Exactly. They're giving us a puzzle box,
Yeah.
and each symbol is a clue.
And the more you engage, the deeper your appreciation for the film becomes.
And that's what we've tried to do here, right? Break it all down, the language, the characters, the symbols.
It all comes together to create this incredible experience.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we've only scratched the surface.
There's always more to uncover.
So many different ways to interpret it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a thought.
Yeah.
What hidden gems might you find on your next rewatch of The Shawshank Redemption?
Ooh, I like that.
Pay attention to the details. Listen closely to the dialogue.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
Because great films like this, they're meant to be explored, discussed, debated.
The conversation never really ends.
And that's the magic of it, what makes this deep dive so rewarding.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for sending over this transcript. It's been a blast.
It really has.